and welcome to my channel. My name is Megan McCarthy, and today we are celebrating my birthday. Yay! But I'm not alone. I have quite a few people here with me today. We've got Carrie and Laura and Glory. Oh, and Charlie.
Woohoo!
Woo! And let me open up the comment section so I can see what everybody is saying.
And I said happy birthday, but my mic was muted. Yay!
Happy birthday!
Thank you. So we've got Jules here. Thank
Hello.
you, Jules. And Maggie is here. Thank you, Maggie. And Lauren Adele is here. Thank you.
Hello.
Glory is also here doing double duty. Bonnie is here. Thank you, Bonnie. And CB. Thank you, CB.
Hello.
I'm surprised you're still awake, CB. And thank you, Jules. All right. So how are you guys doing today?
Alive. Yes, here.
Good.
And
So,
yeah, I'm surprised
that's
about CB as well. It's like 1 a.m., I think.
Right?
Huh.
Staying
Yeah.
up late. Thank you
the
for
first
being
half of that stream, Glory, I kept getting messages from work saying, put this on the farm, put this on the farm. So I kept having to I'm working.
here.
I hope they don't notice my vacantness.
No, I did not notice. You did great.
Yay.
Very good poker face.
I had to
Yes.
put ion thrusters on the farm and new whirly-gig lights and fun
I
times.
think everyone learned by now you don't play poker against the Mistress of Darkness.
Mm-hmm.
Although there was a few times where I'm like, I wonder if she's working right now because she's got this intent look on her face. But before we get started, I had two things I wanted to say. First, I want to warn about my dogs because at around 5:30-ish, the boyfriend will be coming home, which means the dogs will be going nuts, which means I will be turning off my mic. And so you guys will have to talk amongst yourselves until the dogs quiet down again. And then the second thing I wanted to mention before I forget is that we are doing an Ask Me Anything today. So if you have any questions, put them in the chat and I will answer them. And yeah, that is the extent of my little spiel there.
In honor of Jules, and before she gets it into chat, Megan, why are you so awesome?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it probably has something to do with the amount of books I've read, honestly. and the type of books that I've read, I think, have made me who I am today. Now, for some reason, it won't let me see CB's bottom comment. CB says, I can't stay very long because I have an appointment at 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. Oh, and it would help if I could click it, then I could see it. And I'm not going to be around much from Thursday onwards. Well, good luck with all of your appointments, and we'll just enjoy you while you're here with us.
Roy.
What is Roy doing?
I love Roy sniffing
Let me-
around the camera.
His front paws are on the table.
How do I? Oh, there we go.
There we
I
go.
learned how to do
You
it. Roy, show your face to the world.
Oh, look at that gorgeous
Look
baby.
at that handsome face.
Look at that fish.
Oh, so
He's so
cute.
cute.
Oh, ho, ho. So naked.
It's growing back.
So furless for baby.
It looks like he's got like a mustache.
I know, I love it.
Oh,
When Tom was out
questions.
delivering this past week, he came home that night and he told me about this very nice delivery he had, and every time he delivers this one place, it's these two cute little dogs, and he's like, they aren't Brussels Griffins, but they look like them, which are these little kind of terrier-like dogs with with the little, mustaches, this enormous jowl mustache, and I was just like, oh my god. So, he's one day he's gonna try to get a picture of them. They always greet him and they're always sweet. And I was like, I bet that's like a really nice thing about delivery is when there's like happy dogs to see you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, just getting to see everyone's pets is probably a giant perk of the job.
Mm-hmm.
Like mailmen get to see everyone's dogs, and that just sounds like fun.
Yes.
Do the milkmen get to see all the cats?
I mean,
I don't think there are many milkmen around anymore.
that's what I was thinking. Like, are there milkmen? But I know Tom gets to see cats because even when I've been out on deliveries with him, I've seen cats run out of the front door, get onto the railing, and then like smack them with their head to get petted. Like while the person is accepting the delivery, he's like, "Oh, hello to you too," and I'm like aggressively at me. So yeah, he gets to see cats.
So Bonnie has a question. Do you have a bucket list for your 30s? I have a bucket list for like in general before I die. I would like to accomplish quite a few different things. I have it in a notebook somewhere, but since I've moved, I haven't found it. It's probably like in my desk or something. But one of the things on my bucket list is to pet or feed a hippo. That is one of the things I am determined to do before I kick the bucket.
Just don't feed it your hand.
Yes, yeah. No, thank you.
Well, I
They've
think
got
they're herbivores, right? But they will attack.
They're very territorial, but the tusks are only used for fighting. They don't use it for like chewing or anything. They're just for like fighting other hippos and other creatures that they need to fight off.
Yeah.
Do you guys have like a bucket list that you guys have anything that
I had
we all
made
should
one
know?
on my website, and it's like, all the places I want to travel to, mostly, and different things that I want to see. I'm gonna pull it up while everybody else answers.
I have inadvertently been living out my bucket list. So I've been a rock and roll band photographer.
Oh, nice. That's on my list.
Yeah, I've
On my
been a
list.
teacher and a librarian, and I've already published a cookbook, and I'm working on a chamber opera with a friend, and like there's all these things. And honestly, it's like writing is one of the last. That and like having kids, like I'm running low on it, so I guess I need to find new things. Like one of the things I have wanted to do is go camp at Yellowstone. And but since I've done more research, I now want to camp in a car.
See, I know my luck. If I ever went camping at Yellowstone, that's when the caldera blows. Like, I just have the worst luck. So, like, if you want to know when the world is ending, if I ever tell you I'm going to, like, a major volcanic park, get your bucket list done quickly. I've decided I'm done, and I'm bringing the apocalypse.
I mean, what's a little volcanic eruption among friends? St. Helens is still there. It's fine.
That sounds like an opportunity to have a really great party. Like, get everybody together, bring all the fun stuff, and have just a grand old time before the end of times.
I mean, this will come as no surprise to anybody who's heard any of my life stories, but I didn't think I would live to 30. And my 30th birthday was kind of old fest because I had lived so recklessly and done so many things. We literally sat around a table drinking, going, "What do you do when there's nothing left in the world to do anymore?"
Oh man!
Like we just had like serious, like, wow, how are we this old and only 30? Fine.
And Jules has a question. What is your favorite thing about hippos? I think my favorite fact about hippos is that they sweat sunscreen, and or it's a material that, or like a substance that acts as a sunscreen for the hippos. It's not like sunscreen coming out of their it's not like you can bottle it up and use it as sunscreen yourself. Like that would be really weird. But that is my favorite thing about hippos, probably. Also the fact that the herd of hippos is called a bloat, which cracks me up every time. CB says, I found out today that I'm moving. I don't know when yet, and I'm viewing the new apartment on Thursday. Ooh, that's exciting, but very trepidatious. Like, I bet you're feeling a lot of emotions about that moving, and that's exciting though. I always like moving to a new place and getting that kind of fresh start. Jules says, what is your favorite historical era and why? I don't really have a favorite historical era because I like a lot of them. I tend to either go really ancient in the eras that I like ancient Mesopotamia is that time frame is usually very interesting to me, or I'll go like Georgian England and around that time period is probably another interesting time period for me, but I don't really have a particular favorite. I just like history in general. Do you guys have a favorite historical period?
Kind of have two, I guess. So I really like Victorian England for horror sensibilities.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also love, I don't know the technical term for it, but the era in Japan that Rurouni Kenshin takes place in. So,
Tom says,
thank you.
Okay, good. I'm glad.
Tokugawa Shogunate.
I'm like, it was something Shogunate.
Tokugawas are obsessively fascinating.
Do you like? That's coming all the way from the kitchen. Tom's chopping up vegetables for salad. But I know he's watching you on the phone. I think I know a great deal about the United Kingdom Regency era, but that's because I love anything scandalous. And there was so much going wrong in that time period. It's fantastic.
Just like daily, a new scandal.
Yeah, it's like it makes me feel better about right now. Like the past 5 years are nothing in comparison to what was going on there. And I love that because it comforts me. But honestly, the time periods I actually enjoy thinking about is a more boring period. It is like the Tudor period and right before that, about 100 years before, but throughout Europe is fun. Honestly, if I'm really honest, actually North America as well, same time period. Because there was a lot going on that we know about on both coasts. So there was Arabian sailors going to and from Florida and the Carolinas, and then there were Chinese sailors also coming in. So we actually have a lot of records of what was going on, at least coastally in North America, that it's pretty cool to think about. So I guess like really my favorite period is like 13 to 1600s in the Northern Hemisphere. Is my personal fave, but that's actually not necessarily the one I know that much about. Like I do know a fair amount, but it's the Regency time period that I'm like, I know way too much about way too much.
When I read historical fiction, it tends to be set in like 1660 France or like that time range, the 1600s, because of all of my Musketeer loves. And Cyrano and D'Artagnan and
a lot of Tudor England stuff. That's been my big fascination for a long time.
I'm obsessed with the Edwardians, and I don't know why.
I've got a show for you.
It's one of those things I didn't even know about myself until I realized how much research I had done. You know, it's like I just started looking through things that I had collected and gone, huh, lots of Edwardian stuff in ya.
There's this series called Hidden Killers. It is British. It's a British documentary series. And there's only one episode for the Tudor time period, and there's one episode for the Edwardian. But I think you all would enjoy. It's essentially all the ways the people of that era would inadvertently kill themselves.
Oh man.
It's fantastic, and it's all, historical. So, why, yes, super fun of like stairs. They're murdered. Like, but I think there's only 3 episodes. And the other one is, I think, post World War II England. And how do they kill themselves then? DIY projects, y'all.
Oh wow.
No.
I love this series. It's called Hidden Killers, and I believe all 3 episodes are on YouTube. And sometimes they're also like on Amazon Prime. Cannot recommend. It's like we're just talking an hour to 2 hours per episode. It's so good. And it's so well researched, but it's also, they just are like zipping through every way you could kill yourself in these time eras. Fantastic.
All right. So Barrett says, happy birthday. Thank you, Barrett.
Hello.
Maggie says, how happy are you with your Cyrano deep dive? And are you still considering writing an LGBTQ version? I'm very happy with my Cyrano de Bergerac deep dive. I've been enjoying immersing myself in this one work and seeing how different people have interpreted this one piece. But I don't think I will be writing an LGBTQ version as much as I would like to. I think that would be. I think I'd prefer to read it than I would be to write it myself. Like yeah, it's just not. I don't really like doing fan fiction that much as much as I enjoy doing original work. I find I don't know, it just doesn't gel with me as well.
It would be a retelling, not a fanfic, though.
True.
It's
and retelling
probably old enough to not be in copyright, right?
Oh no, it's definitely not
it's
copyrighted.
definitely not copyrighted.
It's super old. And what I mean by that is way out of copyright. It's fine.
Bonnie
Older
says
than Mickey Mouse.
Older than Winnie the Pooh.
So you are the one person that actually wants a hippopotamus for Christmas. I don't think I'd actually want a hippopotamus. I do want a hippopotamus, but I don't know where I would put it.
Between the high road,
Every time that school came on over Christmas,
I think if I actually like saw one in person, I'd be like slightly terrified of it because I'm horses kind of slightly terrify me just because they're so much taller than I am, and hippos are probably about the same height as me or a little taller. Probably a little taller, especially like Tucker, who's like ginormous and weighs like a couple 1,000 pounds or something. Yeah. So
can I just say how much I enjoy the fact that you can just pull a hippo's name just like out of the without skipping a beat.
I have a whole list right here because I've been working for my my National Hippo Day stream. I'm coming up with I want to come up with like a slideshow or something. So I have all the zoos here that have hippos and then the names of their hippos. So like the San Antonio Zoo has Timothy and Uma, and the Cincinnati Zoo has Fiona, Bibi, and Tucker. And like I have all of them. And I plan on ranking the zoos by like how frequently they post hippo pictures.
You should see what the hippos are called at Disney's Animal Kingdom.
Oh yeah, I need to write that down.
They have hippos.
I found another place called Adventure Aquarium that has hippos, and I'm like, what? An aquarium with hippos?
Wow.
This is wild.
I mean, technically water.
I'm gonna have to look.
So.
What was it called again, Laura?
Disney's Animal Kingdom?
Yeah, Disney's Animal Kingdom.
You can go on a safari ride through the reserve out there. in that theme park. It's pretty cool. We heard a sound that our driver had never heard before, and we don't know what animal made it. We're like, let's get out of here.
So one thing about nobody puts the names of the hippos on the website. I have to actually like go through social media and be like looking for them to talk about, like, here's a picture of Timothy and so, and it was difficult finding some of these names. But why does nobody put it on the website? Of course you want to know the names of the animals. They're adorable and you fall in love with them.
It's about priorities here, people.
Exactly.
Cleveland Zoo used to have a hippo, but she died in 2014. Oh, he died in 2014. So
poor hippo.
I was like, I thought they have rhinos. That's probably what I was, because they built a whole new enclosure for the rhinos.
Oh, nice. Rhinos are pretty cool too. CB says, I think I've pretty much done everything on my bucket list except see Bryan Adams in concert and go to Disney in California. Those are nice bucket list goals. Oh, and see West Side Story and Hamilton on stage. More excellent goals. It might only be temporary, and it's because the housing association are doing a lot of work in my building and in my apartment. Ooh, so shiny new things. Even better. Probably the 1960s, since Jersey Boys is set then. Nice. And Eva's here. Thank you, Eva.
Hello.
Maggie says, I would love a version where Cyrano is a woman living as a man. Oh,
Ooh.
I would read that if you wrote that, Maggie, so you should probably get on that.
I'm not saying, but I'm
hint,
saying.
hint.
Not so subtle hint.
I have enough plot bunnies. Don't say stuff like that.
I just found an article. Apparently, July 15th last year, a baby hippo was born at Disney.
Oh.
So joining the 9 other hippos in the family.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
Azizi and Gino, parents. Oh, that's the gorilla one. But there's also a baby hippo. But yeah, 9 hippos and a baby gorilla born on the same day.
I've pulled up my bucket list on my website. It's a long list, guys.
So Eva, the Denver Zoo has Mahali as their hippo. Oh, and then Jules has sent us a link. I'm going to have to open this on my laptop real quick and see what it is. Because hippo videos are always funny.
It
looks like a stuffed animal.
Oh, is it a stuffed animal? I thought it was a video.
Yes, it makes farting sounds.
Oh, that's so cute.
I also shared my screen.
Okay, hold on.
It's not the... Let's see. This is the baby hippo that was born last July.
Aww. So cute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So cute.
Okay, let me take a look at this on my...
Do you want me to share
can't
the screen
look at it
for
on
the Amazon link?
Oh, yeah, that would be great. Because then I don't have to try and maneuver 2 devices. Oh, it's so cute. That's funny that it's the farting hippo. I'm going to have to save this link for later, definitely. Let me just click on it. There we go. I can't wait to show my boyfriend. He'll be like, do you need that or something? Bonnie says, I love the Cleveland Zoo. One of the best I've ever been to. Nice.
It's cool.
Cheyenne Mountain Zoo's hippos are Kasai, Biko, and Zambezi. I had on Cheyenne Mountain Zoo, they have Zambezi, Omo, and Kasai. I don't know about Biko. I'm going to have to add that to the list. But I'm glad you guys are helping me with this. It's a plushie. It's so cute. CB says, I'm going to see Jersey Boys in May. Nice. Just a few months away.
Nice.
Maggie says, I'm with Charlie and on a no new projects restriction. Aww. Well, hopefully when that restriction is lifted, you'll remember this conversation.
See, I made one weird exception to that, and that's because Laura and Kat said a thing that made my brain go crazy, and I was having so much fun doing it that it's now my, like, I'm not working on work, but I'm still going to be doing really weird pictures and world building projects.
I'm so happy.
Like, I'm not allowed to touch it during work hours. It's a goof off project.
Those are the
Thank
best.
you, Paget. So cute, yes. Bonnie says, happy birthday, thank you. CB says, what if we did a collaborative Cyrano LGBTQ story once the new project embargoes are lifted? That would be interesting. I could see a lot of... I'd like to see everyone's version of a... Or at least like a short story. I'd like to read a version from everybody because everyone has such unique writing style that I think it would just be a great project. Paget says, just took my kiddo last Monday on a play date to the Los Angeles Zoo. The hippos were not out that day. Let's see. The LA Zoo, I do not have their names because it's not anywhere on their social media or on their website. But I remember going to the LA Zoo and seeing the hippos. That's one of the first hippos I saw. It was my boyfriend at the time took me for a surprise date to the zoo just to see the hippos. And it was like one of my best days ever. I was just like, I get to see a hippo. I'm so excited. It's in person. It was fun.
Nice.
Question. Are you working on creating any new Authortube tag videos? No, I haven't come up with any ideas for tag videos. But I guess this is a subtle hint that I might need to. So I'll have to think of some ideas. There haven't really been any like tag videos out lately that I've seen. Not this year, at least. Oh, that's a sweet date. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. A lot of walking though, and I wasn't prepared for it because it was a surprise date. So
you had to have sneakers or something.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah. So I think we should do a sprint and give us a chance to get some water and maybe work on a project or I don't know.
Eat a salad.
Eat a salad, yeah. Eat food.
Yeah, I think I'm going to head out because I'm kind of tired.
All right. Sounds good.
We love you, Chloe.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Good night.
Night. So let me add this to the stream.
Yeah, I have half a headache, so I'm going to put my mask on and probably stop staring at screens, maybe. That's what I should do. Will I? What's good for me?
Yeah, you better take care of yourself and, go relax because you've been working hard for quite a while now.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
And happy birthday.
Thank you.
Have fun.
Bye. Okay, so how long should we do? Oh, well, let me get these comments real quick. Oh, you got your HelloFresh box. I hope you like it. I've really enjoyed the HelloFresh boxes that we've been getting because it's made us eat healthier. I've lost like a pound already just from eating vegetables and things that are healthy for me. So I've really enjoyed, and it's so easy and convenient from my experience. Even the enchiladas we made were a pretty easy recipe to do, and neither my boyfriend and I are very good at the whole cooking thing. So, yeah. And Maggie says, here is a link to Zambezi's baby born last summer. I don't see a link, so I don't think it went through. You might have to send that again.
Maggie's not a mod, so they can't post a link.
Oh, okay. So add the dot in between the dot and the com, and I'll add you as a mod in just a bit if I can remember how. We got 2 recipes, but I've only made one, the shepherd's pie. Ooh, which was delish. That sounds delicious. Was the first time making it ever. Nice. Bye, Glory. Bye, Charlie. Since Devin isn't here, 75. I'll have to go after bed. I'll have to go to bed after the sprint because life. Yes, you better get some sleep. The other recipe is a chicken parmesan dish of some sort. Ooh, that sounds really good.
That's what we had for dinner tonight, except it wasn't homemade. It was Encore.
Oh, nice. Can you see it now?
No.
I'll add you as a mod during the sprint, so don't worry about it. And then we can share the link. How long do you want to do the sprint for?
20?
What is a good number for 20?
Yeah.
Okay. 20.
I pulled up the bucket list page on my website, and as I'm scrolling through, I'm like, "Ooh, I need to update it." There are some things that I've crossed off.
Nice.
Let's do 8. No, let's do 7 because it's the 7th, and that's my favorite number. Okay, set. 7 duckies. Ooh, and there's a purple ducky. Perfect.
And it's number 1.
Woo,
Yay!
number 1. Let's see if I can. There we go. All right. Oh, where's the start button? Here's the start button. We're getting ready to go.
Off.
My little one goes, "Yay!"
Oh. Oh, wait. We want the alarm bell. Do we want the alarm bell on or off?
On. I usually do it on.
Okay. So then I can
Music off. Then we can
hear
all hear it.
Yeah, okay. So we're getting ready to go in 3, 2.
Choosing duck number 2.
Oh, yeah. Let me choose your ducks. Carrie, did you choose a duck?
I'll go with you and go with the purple one.
Okay, sounds good. So 3, 2, 1, go! Who's it gonna be? Which ducky is gonna win? Number 4! Yay! Let me go back to this screen. There we go. So how was everybody's sprint?
I have my last chip. My last nacho chip.
Oh, yummy. I love nachos. Ooh, I probably should have done
cheese and
nachos
salsa and sour cream.
Yummy.
And Roy is very intent on getting it.
Of course he is. Nachos are delicious. So I worked on my Cyrano review. I'm on part 4 of 6. I think I just finished part 4 and I'm starting part 5. Yeah, I just finished part 4, so I'm starting part 5. And then I will be done with this video and I can post it. And then everyone can know what I think about Cyrano. And I can't wait to share it.
I have a feeling it's not your favorite.
Yeah, it just has to be that way. All right, so I can undo that. So Eva picked the one with the little hearts. Jules took number 5, Valentine one. Go Devil, I think you mean the red ducky with the hearts. Going for purple, nice. Okay, so that's where I said Maggie should be a mod, and then I modded everyone I saw pretty much, so. Ooh. Cheyenne Mountain Zoo welcomes its first baby hippo in 32 years. I'm going to have to read that article, because baby hippos are just the cutest thing. Like, they've got such tiny little heads and such tiny little bodies and like tiny little like limbs, and you're just like, you're so cute, but you're also massive at the same time. Mm-hmm. How does it work that way? Wrenches for the win, yeah. The baby hippo birth video is amazing. I'm gonna have to check that out. I know that they have for Fiona a lot of the videos, because Fiona the hippo, who's at the Cincinnati Zoo, right? Or have I just been seeing? No, she's at she's at the Cincinnati Zoo. I was right. They have, because she was born premature, so they have a lot of videos from her birth and stuff, and like her growing up, and it's fantastic.
Bye, CB.
Night, CB. Oh, yay, that was CB's ducky. Nice. Eva got more ancestors added to the ever-growing tree. Nice. CB got 620 words of Marvel fanfic. Nice.
I was reading Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood fanfic.
Nice. Finished eating beef teriyaki stir fry. Ooh, and fried sticky rice for dinner. Family love Chinese night. That sounds delicious. I want some. I wish you were a little closer, Maggie, so I could just be like, here, can I have a plate, please?
Somebody make a real life TARDIS so we could just like pop in whenever we want, wherever.
Yeah, right?
But with the TARDIS's luck, you'll be a few decades off.
True. Paget says the family tray is one of my favorite things to make. I love extending my family tree because I have like you know when you go back in your ancestors past, you find so many people who've done so many like interesting things, or like things that you could never imagine yourself doing, and you're just like, and yet I share some of your DNA, so it's got to be in there somewhere. But like I'm related to Daniel Boone, and I'm just like, I could never shoot an animal, or like I've shot guns before, but I didn't enjoy it. Well, I sort of enjoyed it, but it's still like for me. And like he was this great shot and all that, and I'm just like, it's got to be in there somewhere in my DNA.
So I'm a direct descendant of, I think, a king. It's King Henry VI's sister.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
So I have
That's
a relative,
cool.
like a ancestor that was beheaded at the Tower of London, one that was married at the Tower of London.
That tower holds a lot of different meanings for you guys. Then
we saw one of my ancestors' suits of armor when my sister and I went.
Nice.
Oh.
And we were gallivanting around Scotland. And our Airbnb wasn't ready yet. So we went to this podunk castle that was just ruins. And it had a plaque saying that Queen Victoria said it was nothing to look at. Like, ouch! And then we went back to the Airbnb and I was going through my family tree. My ancestors built that castle.
Oh, wow. Ah! That's crazy.
We were sacked.
My family is allegedly related to some Swedish princesses, like a Swedish princess and the royal family. And once there was an app. Oh, hello, Tom. Sorry, I didn't see you there.
Very sneaky, I know that.
So there's an app that matches you to your like a famous art print, and it was the art print that it matched me with was one of the Swedish royalty, and I'm like, well, I mean, I'm genetically related apparently, so I should hold on to some of those features from them, hopefully, you think.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I just thought that was really interesting, like just a surprise of it all.
Yeah, I'd say, like, if you look up the Carrie Wilsons and the Wilson Carries, there's a governor or two portraits. That's exactly what my father looked like.
Oh, wow.
Like, it looks so close.
Let's see, where was I? I lost. There we are. I was worried about how Pepper would react to the news that I had a daughter with another woman, but when Maya and I were together, Pepper and I had a huge row, and I thought I had lost her for good. Nice. Paget says, I am so close to being done inputting edits from printed out pages. I can taste it. Ooh, nice.
I know that feeling.
Thank you. Okay, bedtime for CB, but CB already left, so. Birthday question. What was your most memorable gift you either gave or received? Okay, so there's two gifts I'd say that are the most memorable. My grandmother gave me a amethyst necklace that I still keep, and it's like, my birthstone. So I think that is one of the most special gifts I've ever received. And then one of the gifts that made me the most excited probably was I asked for was it my birthday or Christmas? Either way, I asked for something to get the Ticonderoga pencils, and I got like just my boyfriend at the time bought like an entire giant box of it. So I still have like hundreds of Ticonderoga pencils, but they're like the best pencils out there. So it's great. And they smell really good too. So those are the two most memorable gifts.
I can sharpen this just a little bit more.
You can get the point so sharp that I've stabbed myself a couple times growing up because I'd sharpen my pencils too much. So what is your most memorable gifts that you've ever received? All of you people.
I'm trying to think.
So I just did the selfie thing. I got Portrait of a Lady.
Oh, nice.
The hair.
Yeah.
Also the jawline.
Yeah. I'm glad you found the app that I was talking about.
It's called Google Arts and Culture.
Oh, well, that makes it nice and easy to find.
I'm glad Gloria's doing something else because, like, I don't remember. I should, but I just can't.
Only thing that's sticking out is we went out for my birthday, and that's when I got engaged.
Ooh.
That's one that's sticking out.
I think getting a ring counts as a gift, so, that works.
Yeah.
I'd say mostly for Gloria and I growing up, it was always we would switch gifts. Invariably, whatever someone got for us, it was usually, I think my sibling would like this one.
That's so funny.
You bet. It's called Google Arts and Culture. It's an app.
Phoebe says to enjoy the rest of my birthday. I will do my best to have a blast. Everybody's saying good night to CB. Paget says Chinese food sounds amazing. Chinese food always sounds amazing. I'm going with Thai food today for my birthday dinner, and I'm very excited about it. Or it's going to be a mango curry that hopefully will have fried tofu in it because it comes with chicken. And I'm like, no, I'd rather have fried tofu.
Sounds good, yeah.
Mango and curry go together so well.
Mm-hmm. Maggie says Mama's kitchen is always open. Nice.
I don't know why, but my favorite way to enjoy curry is to have the curry, soupy type curry, put my rice in there, and then have it the next day. I don't know why, but I just like the rice. Flavor. Yeah.
I do the first half of that, but then I usually finish it the first day, so it doesn't last long.
I know
enough
it's really
for
hard
the second day.
when it's a good curry.
But when I have leftovers, and the flavors have time to sit and just like absorb into the rice, it's so good. Eva says, unless I messed up, which is always a possibility, I linked the Mr. to President Monroe, first cousin 8 times removed.
Wow.
Because I'm related to Daniel Boone, I'm related indirectly to Abraham Lincoln because, like, Mary Todd's cousin is married, like, one of my relatives' cousins. So I thought that was pretty cool. Like, it's really cool how, like, everyone is connected to, like, everyone pretty much.
Yeah, whenever I hear people link it there, it's like, of course you are. We humans spread out. You just go back and you will find.
Yeah.
Hence the joke of if you have any family who is here close to the Mayflower, then yes, you are, related through marriage to Pocahontas because everyone was. They were all, intermarried.
Oh, yeah. That's interesting.
She's my 9th great-grandmother.
Interesting.
My mom's side.
Eva says, but the link to Marytown Eastie will remain my favorite. Who is Marytown Eastie?
She was one of the women put to death during the Salem witch trials.
Oh, that's fascinating. How do you know that off the top of your head, Carrie? You like
that is another time period that I am very fascinated with.
Oh, gotcha.
I can't say anything. I was actually just listening about her, / listening to an audiobook. The prequel to Practical Magic, Rules of Magic.
Oh, nice. Maggie says, I love making fried sticky rice cakes in sesame oil.
Yeah.
Eva says, I think I have your tree started, Megan. I'll take a peek around it again. We've worked on my grandfather's side a little bit. I think I'm going to merge all of my trees so I can find intersections with folks I know. Ooh, that should be interesting.
To me, that's the real fun of family trees.
Burn Queen Vicky.
She did burn my family.
Years ago when I was doing our family tree, and I found the ones that were in England, the nobility, I started laughing because I did not know how many different ways in Latin you can write the same family motto.
Oh, wow.
Like 13 family mottos.
Oh, my goodness.
They all translate roughly the same way. We keep what we gain.
Finders keepers.
Yes, that's literally their family motto is finders keepers.
Wow. That's hilarious. Finders keepers.
I was like, no wonder, they married. They all had the same idea.
Eva says, I've connected to people with notes that say they are connected to Joseph of Arimathea, but I've not extended it far enough to confirm that. Interesting. Back in the early days of what's the big one? The big family Ancestry.com. Yeah. My mom had an account, and someone else distantly related to us had been working on the family tree and had traced it back to Adam and Eve. And we're like, maybe not.
You took a wrong turn somewhere.
Yeah. Some of my ancestors were woodworkers, and some of them were cattle and sheep thieves, allegedly. Interesting. Hello to Tom.
Don't we all have a couple thieves in our background?
Yeah, probably.
And a few psychopaths. I mean...
There's a Sir, I think it's Sir Humphrey Davy in my family, on my mom's dad's side. He was a great inventor who stole all of his inventions from his apprentice.
Oh, man.
That's a real professional.
Yeah.
The fellow who took Jesus off the cross. Ah, gotcha.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure I've told this story before on various streams, but I took a history class in community college, and my teacher wanted to know if I was related to Ringo Starr. His real name is Richard Starkey, and Starkey is my maiden name. And I'm like, it might be cool if it was. I haven't traced that far, on that, side of the family tree to figure it out. And I told my dad, and he was like, "Oh, you didn't use my line? I don't know who my grandfather slept with." I think that is a little inappropriate for the classroom.
Yeah. I was looking at Eva's later. Go on. Sorry.
Then he went on to explain that his grandfather, his paternal grandfather, actually was described as a womanizing SOB. So he could have slept with somebody who went on to.
That's funny.
I was noticing Eva saying there's 5 female names that just repeat so often. It's all blurring together. And it's yes, one of the things that happens when you start to go back to a certain level, especially in colonial times, is you start noticing family trees. They don't so much branch as they sort of interweave. And this gets a little tricky with some family tree software, whether it can handle, great uncles marrying their nieces.
Disturbing. But it happens.
These ancestry programs would glitch out with medieval kings and queens marrying their second cousins and.
Oh yeah. Eva says, "I'd love to start everyone's tree. Hit me up. It'll just be sporadically and always for my own entertainment. I love the stories. I want to try. What is it again? My family tree was McCarthy and Petrosino, I believe.
I think she was talking about that app.
Oh, the app. Okay. Hubby proposed to me on my birthday because he asked me after we had dated 3 weeks, and I told him he had to wait until after Christmas, so he waited exactly 1 week after Christmas." That's a great story. That's something you can tell your kids and stuff, and it's such a sweet little
it just backfires when your kids ask, get proposed to, and you're like, "No, not that one." You're like, "But we've known each other longer than you and Dad knew each other."
Oh yeah.
That was different.
Eva says, we have a connection to someone who helped Boone to set up a fort by his name, but not to Boone himself thus far. Interesting. So they at least hung out with the same people.
We have, when Joe and I got engaged, we were telling people at church, and we were telling this one couple we were close to, and the guy's father was there, and he goes, "Did you get down on one knee?" I go, "No, it was across the dinner table." It doesn't count. And the lady looked at him, looked at her father-in-law, and goes, "Your own son didn't get down on one knee. We talked about it in the car." It was kind of like, "Hey, you want to get married? Okay."
That's funny. And then he surprised me with a laptop for Christmas, the Christmas after my stroke, because I was handwriting all my stories and then typing them on the family desktop. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of handwriting.
Mm-hmm.
Then there was when he bought me my beehives. Ooh, nice.
I like his gifts.
Yeah, they're very thoughtful. Shows that he really put some thought into the gifts and made them special.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Nia. Nice to see you. Mary Eastie is one of 1,024 grandmothers. Wow. Happy birthday. Thank you. Yeah, that's 1,024 grandmas, Laura. Something like that. Another with surname Nurse was Mary's sister, also linked to her. Interesting.
Yeah.
Mary was in her 60s, I believe. In case y'all pictured young witches.
No, that's
I did not know that.
No, her sister Rebecca, I think, was in her 80s.
Oh, wow. I have connected a close friend and I, twice separated by marriage, so not really related, but linked on the same tree. It counts. Yeah, it does count.
I love reading the census and immigration records.
Oh, yeah.
When they put down what kind of job skills they have.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you're just like, okay, but did they mean that, or was this a euphemism? My favorite was collar maker. That's it. That's all they did. They just make collars.
I started looping in Joe's family tree after we got married, and actually had to text his aunt because in one of the census records, a grandfather, their profession was just beer. And I'm like, what? And she's like, he owned a bar. I'm like, oh, okay.
That's funny.
That's
just
a shorthand
beer.
right there. Beer.
Just beer.
Short and to the point. I like it.
That doesn't give me much information.
She was also a character in The Crucible. I haven't read The Crucible since high school. I do not remember it at all. There's 5 female names that just repeat so often they all blur together.
So my family that settled Bath, Ontario, a lot of the sons and the fathers and the uncle, they have the same name. So we drove up to Bath and we found the stained glass windows in the churches with their names in it.
Mm-hmm.
And we took pictures of that and stuff. And we found their graves and we found the house that they built. And we had to go talk to the guy that owned the house. Can we see the family tree, please? we gotta get this all sorted out.
That's so cool.
And that's one of the ways definitely you can tell the people who have done a lot of genealogy research and the ones who don't, of okay, I found one link. Let me find a few more resources to double check that this is the right person.
Mm-hmm.
Because the names, they just repeat the same names over and over. Who knows?
Yeah,
which generation?
I had a relative who had the same name. His brother had died at birth, and they had just reused the name for him. Mm-hmm. And so when it was time for the war, he got drafted because they thought they had mixed up the social security numbers, and so he had the social security number of the older brother and had to go to war because of it, even though he was only like 16 instead of 18 or whatever it was. So I thought that's why you don't name your children after your other children if you have more than one.
Well, let's say they found in the past decade, several scientists looked at like really everything involved with areas that have the longest lived humans.
Mm-hmm.
Where there's a large group of them instead of a small amount that's higher than average. And it's like, no, they all have two things in common, just two. They all have poor record keeping, and they all have pensions.
Mm-hmm.
So it pays to take over someone else's pension. Your parents' pension, by saying you're them.
Gotcha.
But everywhere, like anywhere that has good record keeping, you don't see quite as much, really long-lived people because it's harder to impersonate someone.
Huh. Did not know that.
When we were figuring out names, immediately eliminated Joe for baby names because of him and my brother-in-law. My sister and I are both married to Joes. It's already confusing enough. Throwing in a kid, no. He ruled out there's a lot of Johns in Joe's family, so he said no Johns. Steve was another one that was out because I have my grandfather, an uncle, and a cousin, and then Joe's brother, all named Steve.
Oh, man. Okay, so I have quite a few comments. I'm going to read through them quickly so we can catch up because I didn't realize I was so far behind. So, Cares Creek, if you don't know history surrounding that location, it's a hard read, but we link to the Cunninghams of that event. I know a Cunningham. They're a very talented pianist. My father's family is Scots and Anglo-Saxon. My mother's family is Native American tribes and English Anglican Jews. One person kidnapped in 1609 at the age of 11 and taken to the Virginia colony as an indentured servant. Oh, interesting. Wow. Eva says mothers used to name their first daughters after themselves. I got my mother's middle name, and that was how she named me after herself. And my sister got my dad's middle name because they wanted to even it out.
My mom's oldest sister is my grandmother's name flipped. So my grandmother was Victoria Teresa, and she's Teresa Victoria.
Oh, wow.
I'm named after a chocolate company. Which also happened to be a great aunt's name, but it was mostly for Laura Secord.
Nice. Mary begot Mary begot Mary begot Mary.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maggie says
and then throwing on Elizabeth to change it up. Or Sarah or something.
Maggie says it was traditional for men to marry the widows of the family. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that tradition. Eva says, I've not yet run into incest so blatantly. Widowers cross-marrying, I see a lot. I do have already Allrids in my line, though, so I'm optimistic. To me, I tell the kids, and they go, yeah, we know Dad is romantic, practically a girl. Hello to Nia. Nia says hi back. Maggie, Beehive is such a cool gift. That is such a cool gift. I don't know if it would be a cool gift for me, but it's a cool gift in general. Eva says the loss of the 1890 census hurt my family research a ton.
Yeah.
It always sucks when there's missing information.
Because of how far back it is, if you know the states have census that they would run halfway between the national census.
Oh, good to know.
So you can sometimes go to the state records see if they've been digitized and find it through there.
Awesome. Eva says, my mother used to hear stories from her grandmother's own mouth that I can't prove because of that census. Sigh. Yeah, that is frustrating. Maggie says, Nia, I know he was interested in them for the garden and was counting on my Disney princess vibe to keep the hives thriving. And bees love me. Nice.
We will never get an explanation for Jennifer's body and that Disney princess vibe.
Eva says, sorry if I derailed things by bringing up ancestors, but I love it. No, you didn't derail anything. It was a nice flow into an interesting topic that we can talk about for ages. Eva says, there's no paper that links me to my own biological family outside of things like Ancestry.com and personal accounts and photos. It started my infatuation. I have a blank line for father on my birth certificate and never had the bio father surname. Ooh, that's rough. Eva says, I've seen parents naming their children the same names fairly often if the first child of the name passed away. Less often if the children were living. Maggie says, my grandmother on my father's side and my aunts on my mother's side have done the trees for both sides, and so I have a 1,500 years of accurate trees, and then there's the Jewish line, which goes way back. That's fascinating. Like that, I wish I had that to look back on, because it's fascinating to me. Eva says, military and baptism records, bread and butter of ancestry for you. Nice. Eva says, getting back to 1692 is rare. Most family lines immigrated in much later.
Yeah.
It's my fault on the comments. So sorry.
We're getting there.
We're getting close to there, because it's like, yeah, I saw Paget about the names Francis, and all I'm thinking is 7 brides for 7 brothers. Call me Frank.
My dad wanted to name me Francis because that's his favorite saint, because he's Catholic, or used to be Catholic, and he wanted to name me Francis, and my mom was like, no. And I'm like, yes, because I did not want to be named Francis. I'm sure I would have been okay with it if I had actually.
Which one? There's Francis, a few.
The one that talks to animals, that's his favorite.
Okay. That's the most popular one.
Yeah. Eva says, if you had to guess, why would a married man and woman be buried in different cemeteries while dying within 4 months of each other with a surviving toddler?
That is because there is a Catholic and a Protestant one. Also, if they were considered white at the time or not white.
Paget says, my mom and dad were both named after their mom, Francis, and dad, Francis. And my oldest brother after my dad. As such, there were 5 Francises in my fam, just immediate and grandparents.
My goodness.
We are from the South. Wow. That's a lot of Francises.
Using enough with my sister and my cousin-in-law with the same first name.
Eva says, Kentucky is the state. I haven't found anything, but I'll double check. Not sure I tried state census, Tom. Good tip.
Yeah, I've had that as well on several occasions where they disappear on the national census. But if I can find a state one, there's a better chance of finding more accurate records.
Paget says, if someone called on the phone, I had to take them through a flow chart to find the right one. Maybe if their families did not particularly get along, or if the plots were already purchased. That's another possibility.
Yeah. Running out of room.
Yeah. Or if like they had already sold off the plots nearby, maybe they just found a better place to put them.
Or if it was sudden.
Yeah.
Eva says, I have an Aunt Fran married an uncle, and an Uncle Fran, brother of that same uncle. Always fascinated and confused me as a child. That is very confusing. I'm not quite sure I understand which one's Fran and which one's...
Oh, no, they're both like...
Oh, they're both Fran?
Yeah.
Oh, that's confusing.
Yeah.
So confusing, right? It actually caused some property ownership snafus.
Ooh.
That's never good. Those are always a mess to deal with, especially with our legal system.
Yeah.
Francis of Assisi, yes. Oh, Catholic. I forgot about Catholic. Yeah. Both Catholic cemeteries. I suspect the not white thing based on family oral histories, but so far can't prove. Leaning towards DNA testing due to that point. It's only 2 grades up. Sucks to lose a line so soon. Ooh, both deaths were TB. That sucks. TB is not a pretty disease. 1898 TB deaths. Both the husband and wife were very young. Oh, man. Yeah, one of my grandmother's siblings died from like a simple infection because it was back in like the she was 98 when she passed away in like 2015. So I don't know how old that is, but what year it started in. But it's amazing the things people have died from in the past that we don't have to deal with anymore. It's like, this is nice that we don't have to like worry about all these things as much as we do or we did. But now we have our pandemic to worry about, which kind of changes everything. So
I was gonna say, anyone who's done genealogy is very much a no, vaccines are good. We all want vaccines. Give them vaccines. Because like you can see the stark change in cemeteries and death records once vaccines started showing up for children.
And just the fact that women don't have to have so many children anymore is like such a good thing, because having 15 children does terrible things to your body. And like, you know, it takes away opportunities for women to, you know, do other things.
Well, and like another thing that Gloria pointed out to me a while ago is so they, you know, what they term a geriatric pregnancy, because it's older than most pregnancies, has mostly to do with when women stopped giving birth. Well, it's more of like the average age at which women tended to die from birth heavily influenced those numbers of, you know, under 40.
Yeah.
Like I will never forget, Gloria told me our grandma, she shortly before it passed away, Gloria spent a few weeks with her, and she was, you know, they got along well, and she was hearing a lot of stories. And that's when she found out that our grandmother was told when she was like 58, 59, she's like, I'm just not feeling the same as I was. What's going on? And the doctor responded, oh, that's because, you know, you're starting menopause. And she's like, wait, what? I thought that was in my 40s. It's like, no, you're just,
perimenopause.
And she went off at the time, you SOB. I didn't think I could have kids anymore. Are you saying I've been worrying about, I could have had a pregnancy late in the last several years if I wasn't more careful?
Yeah, one thing that they don't really talk about is perimenopause, which is like sort of menopause. It like is
feels
the beginning
like it, but no, you're still able to carry.
Yeah, and we need to talk about it more so that women can be aware of it and know when it's happening. And one of my favorite feminist writers, Mona Eltahawy, she talks about her journey with perimenopause, and I really admire her for the way she's so candid about everything. Hold on, I have a text message. I think it might be Sean telling me he's on his way with the food. And so I might have to mute myself because the dogs will start barking any second now. Okay, so we're gonna have to go on a quick break because I need to go help with the packages apparently. So let me star this so we don't forget where we were. Oop. And then go back to the duck race. Race again. Shuffle characters. I'm going with the purple duck, obviously.
Top hat.
Statue of Liberty.
All right, so we're going to get started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Who's gonna win? And it's the bear duck. I don't know what combined to make that, but that is an interesting creature, bear duck.
I like the turtle ducks in The Last Airbender better.
Let's see. Oh, okay, we're good. Okay, so there are a lot of comments, so I'm going to read through them again as fast as I can so that we can catch up to where everybody is. Eva says 1898 TB deaths, both. Oh, we already read that one, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
I've read it at least. Okay. Eva says both have a bit, so that's the entirety of the information I have. Someday I'll cruise over to Kentucky and check out their grave sites. Maggie says there is a cemetery that my family and 2 others started outside Satana, Kansas, so white and non-white spouses could be buried together. That later became the Haskell County Cemetery after the 1920s tornadoes. Eva says that's a fun piece of history, Maggie. I love that. I agree.
Yeah.
Eva says, my great-aunt died in childbirth at the age of 18. Her surviving daughter was raised with her father's family, another confusing cousin to me as a child. I didn't understand how she was related. Eva says, I love when I see folks in the 1700s have 14 kids, no lie, all the possibilities for backing up to the 1600s. Let's see. Maggie says, yes, by the time the land rush came to Kansas territory, the only families who knew we weren't completely white were also not, so no one said anything rather than risk losing their land. Sprint. Chocolate duck. Detective duck. Oh, so Maggie won.
Mm-hmm.
Purple boy. Sherlock duck. Purple, yes. Is that a bear duck? Either way, I love chocolate and I married a bear. Maggie says, my grandfather, C.W., used to run the mule freight wagons from the family mill in Hugoton to Pueblo, Walsenburg, and Trinidad. One year he developed a hernia, and my great-grandmother, Hedda, made the runs and left him at home with their 11 children. Oh, my.
Oh, gosh.
Wow.
Wow, that's such a great story, too. Yeah, I agree. Love it. Maggie says, in a week, he had hired a maid and nanny and a business manager because Emma, my other grandmother, was doing all the books for her friends or for her friend. Maggie says, our family laughed about it for decades that CW would rather look at the ass end of 20 mules than take care of his own 11 heathens and do the paperwork for the mill and freight wagons. Oh, and she made twice the runs during the next 6 weeks than he normally did. Yeah, isn't that how it usually goes? Like when women take over, it's like stuff gets done. I put that bit of my family's history in Ghost with Cats. Ooh, that's cool. CW was obviously taking his sweet time to avoid being home with those heathens. Maggie says, great-grandpa's cabin in the San Isabel National Forest, Cuchara, reverted back to the federal government in 1978 because Grandpa didn't realize Jimmy Carter's admin changed the policy about NF land deeds. Tom, Maggie says, yes, he was. Maggie says he also almost bankrupted the family during the Great Depression and Dust Bowl because he was using our family's assets as collateral to help his cousins and siblings keep their farms. But many left Kansas. I love the stories that include many in my Pagosa Cliffs books. The only story that is very different is Sheriff Ray's story. My great-uncle Ray got a mail-order bride from southern Italy after he lost his love. I actually have a couple of relatives who were, well, I have one relative who was like a mail order bride, but then she came over and realized that she didn't like the guy, so she refused to marry him, but her sister married him because she was like, yeah, this guy is pretty decent, so they married, and then that's how they kind of ended up in America. So that is that story. Jules says, happy birthday. I'm afraid I've got to go since I need to take my mom to the doctor in the morning. Have fun with the rest of your evening celebrations. Good night, Jules. Although you probably already left. Yes. Oh, there's more comments. I thought I got to the end and no.
No.
Yay, says Maggie. Purple was robbed, yes. Yes, it was. It was so close, too. It was like moving along towards the front, and then, nope, it just got overtaken. Here is Uncle Ray's story. Oh, you have it on your Inkit. I'll have to check that out, because that's always fun. Mr. Vlandis, I haven't seen you in quite a while. Hello, it's nice to see you. Eva says, thank you. I was just telling the mister your stories, Maggie. He loves this stuff, too. I don't know anyone who doesn't love this kind of stuff. Like,
I mean, truth is almost always better than fiction, because truth can do stuff that, stretches credulity.
True, yes. I went poking around in Meg's line. Oh, what did you find anything interesting? Any interesting occupations from anybody? Let's see. Oh, so what did you guys do during the sprint? Now that I've caught up with the chat.
I had dinner and am now probably about ready to go to bed.
Nice. The food arrived, so I have my Thai iced tea with extra boba. So nice. I will be very happy this evening. And I got tom yum soup, which is hot and sour soup. Thai hot and sour soup, and it's so good. It has fried tofu in it, and they made the fried tofu like just perfect. I had a bite, and it was so good. So that is going to be my dinner once we're all done with this, which we should be ending soonish. I don't know. We can. It's not like I have I do have a bedtime, but other than that, I don't really have anything to do. So, were you going to say what you did? Why did Laura? Your name just escaped me.
I read more fan fiction.
Nice. Was it the same as last time? What was the show you were?
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Full Metal Alchemist, yeah. Was it Full Metal Alchemist again?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's where the main character gets abducted and tortured, and now it's recovery time. So it's all the angst, all the hurt comfort. It's like, yes, thank you.
Nice.
Poor soul.
Maggie wants to know how Mr. Vlandis is doing. Is he feeling better? Eva says it's like a mix between true crime and treasure hunting. Maggie says the problem with truth is it is harder to believe than fiction. Sometimes it can be because, we're so used to the constraints that we've applied to life, and then those constraints can get thrown out the window at any time when Mother Nature is just like, nope, I don't like this.
Well, I mean, there is a lot of coincidence in life.
True. Yes.
I mean, I heard a cute little story recently about Brian Cox, the actor, who was trying to get, into, I can't remember what the Actors Guild offhand is called in Britain. Like, it's not purity, but it's some odd word. Except there was already an actor with the name Brian Cox. But he hadn't acted in anything in a long time. So he wrote him a letter, like, hey, can I take over your name so I can act under my own name? And 2 weeks later, he got a letter from this actor asking if he could use his name. Because he hasn't acted in so long. He'd entirely forgotten he had joined it when he was a kid.
Oh my goodness, that's so funny. Like, he got a letter to himself.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's so funny.
I'm like, it's just, it's coincidence. It's, people forget.
Yeah, that's a great story. Like, I can imagine doing something like that. Like, that's something I would totally do, is forget and then, like, end up with a letter to myself. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, 2 decades later.
Maggie says, I told Eva the stories of great grandpa CW.
It's midnight.
It's midnight. Oh, it's only 7 o'clock here.
It's 10 o'clock here.
Oh my.
Maybe she just means it's the top of the hour.
Maybe it's just the face.
The top of the hour.
Okay. Yeah, it is.
Whatever hour that may be in your time zone.
I have a third great grandfather who passed away after fasting for 2 years. What? How did you find this out? Like, what? How? Why was he fasting? I need to know this. Fasted for 40 days to beat a record, then only water, veggies, and fruits in small amounts. Why? His death was unrelated, but it has that story attached to him. Oh, that's interesting. Great-great-grandpa William Arnett. I'm familiar with that name.
Isn't Will Arnett an actor?
Yeah. I think so. But I'm also familiar with it in my line. Hopefully they're not the same person. That would be weird. Not the most exciting, but I found a story. I think that is exciting, you know, just all the little stories that make up what a person is before they go. Top of the hour. Yes, that's what Maggie meant. Top of the hour.
All right. Well, it is my bedtime.
All right. I'll see you later, Tom. Sleep well.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye. Yeah, I think we'll do we'll chat a bit, do one more sprint, and then we can call it a day so we all can get a nice early bedtime, or, well, I can get a nice early bedtime. The rest of you are kind of up late.
I should go to bed early, but do I? No.
It's just there's so many fun things to do when you're awake. It's like sleeping takes away from that, and it's like, darn, I could be thinking or imagining something for a story.
My dreams are so cool. I don't want to leave them. Like, darn it, no! Just let me sleep for 12 more hours, please.
I wish my dreams were that cool. My dreams are usually like pretty weird and wacky and disturbing. Like a couple nights ago, I had a dream. I rarely remember mine, but when I do, they're always crazy and wacky. Like a couple nights ago, I remember I dreamt that my boyfriend annoyed me so much I kicked him out of the house. And I don't know what exactly he was doing to annoy me so much, but I apparently got really fed up with him and just was like, no, you must leave here. And then I've had a couple like pirate dreams where I'm on like a pirate ship.
Do I want to
do pirate stuff?
I am Harry Potter in a lot of my dreams.
I remember part of the dream I had last week. So Thursday we started potty training Anna. I guess I must have had some anxiety about it in my subconscious brain. Because the part of the dream I remember is her walking to my underwear drawer, grabbing a pair, and flushing them down the toilet.
Oh, no. At least it was just a dream.
That's the only part I remember. And then just the water just gushing out.
Oh, no.
From being blocked.
Oh, man. That's such a funny dream.
I'm like, do I want to share this with everybody?
Let's see. Everybody's saying sweet dreams to Tom. Maggie says, I have to go. The family is going to watch the Olympics together. Oh, I forgot about the Olympics. It always happens around my birthday, and yet every year I forget it. Well, it doesn't happen every year, but every 4 years I forget about it. I wonder, I don't even know who the
where is it taking
contenders
place?
Are. It's in
China.
Isn't it in Tokyo? Yeah.
No, it's in Beijing.
Oh, Beijing. Sorry.
Wasn't it already in Beijing?
The summer
Wasn't that the summer one? And now they're doing the Winter Olympics?
Oh.
I usually like watching the figure skating. It's because I used to figure skate, and I wanted to be an Olympic figure skater like really bad. And I would like, I didn't have a coach, so I was training myself.
I had that dream for a while when I was really little. I would slide across hardwood floors in my socks, or tile floors, like like I was a figure skater.
Nice.
So I was very upset when my grandparents got carpet in their kitchen and living room, and I couldn't do that because I watched figure skating with my grandma when we would visit, and when they got carpet in their kitchen and living room, I couldn't do that anymore.
Dog, you're on my cord. You gotta get off. Yeah, your butt is on the cord, so you need to. Yes, thank you. The dog is sitting on my charger for my laptop. I'm like, no, you can't do that. It's supposed to be connected to my laptop. So I just got my birthday gift. It arrived in the mail, so I can now show you my Hippo Pride t-shirt.
That is cool.
And because I needed hippo shirts. I have my Cyrano de Bergerac shirt, which I'm wearing right now, and my Three Musketeers shirt. So now I need hippos. So this one, what does it say? I just freaking love hippos, okay? Let me see if I can. Yeah. So now I can show my love of hippos to the world. Don't give up on your dreams. Stay asleep.
Exactly.
When given the choice between eating and sleeping, choose eating. It tastes better. Yes. Eva says, I haven't remembered many of my dreams lately. The most recent was last week, and it was creepy. There was a talking doll. Oh, my goodness. Talking dolls are always creepy. Thank you. You too. Have a lovely week. My Arnett line is very cool. Ooh. Why? What is so cool about? Oh, well, you tell me in just a bit. It's in China. Fourth great grandpa was taken as a prisoner of war by the Confederate Army. He was a judge. He helped form a county. He named his son after President Monroe. Interesting, which feels cool because I just found that link in my fam. Oh, that's interesting. And he was a sharpshooter in the Battle of New Orleans in 1815. See, I have all these sharpshooters in my background. Why do I not have any talent with hitting targets?
You gotta practice.
Hippos! Hip, hip, hippos! Hip, hippo, hooray! And there is, that is a bot. Good night and happy birthday. Thank you, Nia. So I think we will do one more sprinty sprint. And then...
It's a sharpshooter recessive gene.
Maybe it is. Let's see. Let me add buttons. Race again. Shuffle characters. Ooh, we've got an alien duck, one with a mohawk, a green striped one. We don't have a purple one. We've got the Statue of Liberty duck, a plain duck, one with strawberry on its head, and
a Dracula duck.
Dracula duck. I kind of want to be the Dracula duck. Count Dracula, yes. I kind of want to be Count Dracula, but I also love the strawberry hat one, so I think I might go with the strawberry hat duck.
I gotta go with Dracula.
At least someone is going with Dracula. I think that's necessary to this stream.
I'll take the alien duck.
Alien duck, nice. Okay, so I will get started, or we'll start this sprint in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go! Who's it gonna be? Number 5, the plain ducky.
¿Por qué?
None of us, well, not many of us were very lucky today. Maggie got lucky and CB got lucky, but let's see. Where is the button right here. There is the button I'm looking for.
Good job.
So during that sprint, I was working on my Cyrano review, and I am now exporting it. So now all I have to do is write up the description, and then I can put it onto the YouTubes. Yes! It has taken me what seems like forever to finish this, but it is now completed. Hooray! What did you guys work on?
Carrie's muted.
Oh, Carrie, you're muted.
I'm still outlining.
Nice.
I printed out some puppy pictures.
Aww.
Put them in my journal.
Aww, so cute.
So we got some Roy pictures. And then...
What kind of printer do you have, like, to get that size?
The Sprocket. It prints on sticker paper.
I want one of those so bad.
It's the only printer I own. Every time I buy a full-size printer, it dies within like a week.
Oh, no. Okay, so Eva says recessive gene. Ha ha ha. That same sharpshooting 4th great-grandmother has a mother listed as a Native American Nanticoke. Interesting. 4th great-grandfather has a Nanticoke mother, so 5th great-grandmother. And I said, well, that's awesome. Eva says, I'm checking for sources and such now. She has a white name. It may be something confirmed through DNA by another doing the line. It's loading heckin' slow, but I'm excited. I see no evidence here, so I don't know where it came from. I'll have to message some of the other researchers who have it listed to see where it came from. Interesting. Could be oral history, but we're talking like 1756 to 1821, so that isn't too reliable. No, that's a little far for oral history. Her husband's name is Valentine. That's fun. That is fun. I love Valentine's Day. It's one of my favorite holidays, in part because of the chocolate and the roses. Two of my favorite things. Eva says, but both husband and wife dead and no information for their parents. Ah. JK, the grandfather's line goes back to Scotland. Oh, cool. There is evidence of a gift of land from the Nanticoke to this grandfather Valentine. Oh. I'm skeptical of the gifting parts, but the trail opens, so this may be a confirmed Nanticoke grandmother. I'll message you on Instagram if I find something. Awesome. Thank you, Eva.
And then a bot.
And then a bot, yes. I was just reading about Valentine Arnett. Interesting. It's so fascinating. I'm glad you're interested in all this and have gone a digging, because you've discovered so many interesting things that even I didn't know, and I thought I knew quite a bit about my past, but that's awesome. That is so cool. Okay, let's see. So it's 7:36. I think it's about time, unless anybody has anything left they'd like to say or
subscribe.
Yes, subscribe, because I will be putting out more Cyrano content. A Cyrano review is coming out as soon as I write the description for the review. And then I plan on reviewing the the version of Cyrano de Bergerac done by Wishbone, the children's TV series. And
I found it on YouTube the other day, and I watched it.
Yes, I remember. So good. Okay. But yeah. So make sure you are subscribed so you can see all that content that I plan on sharing. And make sure you are subscribed to these lovely people, because they are fantastic and their content is always just perfect. Well, it's true. Like, Laura, you've got your vlogs that you do, which are always so much fun to watch. And Carrie, you've always got such interesting things on your YouTube as well. Like, I highly recommend. Paget says, Yes, thank you for birthdaying with us. Happy birthday. Thank you very much. Oh, I see Eva says thanks for sharing your birthday with us. Thank you guys for joining me. Oh, and I missed another from Paget because I'm not paying attention. Me too. Valentine's is so fun and not necessarily for the lovey-dovey reasons. Some of my favorite Valentine's days were girls' night out, etc. Yeah. Even though it's a Hallmark holiday, I still am like, it's one of my favorites. Plus, the candy that goes on sale is always like really good, and just dark chocolate in general is my favorite. All right. Well, I think we will end it here. Thank you for joining us, and I will see you guys later. Hasta la vista.
Bye.
We end the broadcast. Yes, I want to end the